You know, I used to not show my likes and dislikes on my videos at all. And I know a lot of people hated my guts for doing that, because I was depriving them of what they consider to be objective validation that they are not liking my videos was an objective fact rather than a subjective opinion. In fact, a couple of years ago, I even made my own video explaining why I didn't do that, and I specifically said that it's because I felt that the like-to-dislike system was a complete dumpster fire, that it was categorically useless, and that all it really did was to inflate the egos of these self-entitled dicks who just tried to drive up the dislike ratio out of pure spite, rather than organic. However, YouTube a few months ago started hiding dislikes of their own accord while leaving the likes visible. This was, needless to say, a very controversial position that YouTube took. However, YouTube justified its decision to do this for primarily the same reasons I had previously justified hiding the like-to-dislike ratio altogether. That is to say that smaller channels disproportionately found themselves victimized by dislike bombing. Now, what I've personally found to be absolutely laughable was a lot of people's response to this justification. Young Ya, in particular, called it a nonsense excuse. And yet, he offers absolutely no evidence whatsoever that their justification was incorrect. His only rebuttal against the entire excuse was that it never happened to him personally.
Ever since YouTube dislikes were made private, I have not noticed a difference in the likes to dislikes ratio that I usually tend to get.
Yeah, that's basically the equivalent of saying, well, I get enough to eat, so world hunger must be a myth. I mean, look at me, clearly I get enough to eat, but that's beside the point. Anyway, Young Ya clearly doesn't even get it. YouTube very clearly stated that dislike bombing disproportionately affects smaller creators. So of course Young Ya doesn't see very much dislike bombing on his own channel. He has 1.21 million subscribers. No shit, Sherlock. This isn't really all that much of rocket science. So you say that smaller creators are not actually disproportionately affected by review bombing? Well, why don't you actually prove it using evidence of smaller creators? Now, there is a Firefox add-on that allows the dislikes to be visible again. Frankly, I believe these add-ons should be shut down. YouTube should take the developers of these add-ons to court and legally shut them down because they infringe on YouTube's right to govern their own website however they choose. But that's beside the point. I'm not the one who gets to make that call. I'm just saying that's what I think should happen. In any event, a lot, and I mean a lot, of my long-form videos, and I do emphasize long-form, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, have absolutely abysmal like-to-dislike ratios. My channel average currently sits at about 15% likes to dislikes. That is my channel's average, and it is abysmal. Now, a lot of people have taken these Firefox add-ons and used these illegal screenshots of my videos in order to prove, and let's use that term fucking loosely, that my videos are shit. Really, it's just the same small group of people, the same couple dozen people who monitor my channel like a vulture and instantly hit the dislike button whenever I upload, without even watching the video, thereby artificially inflating the dislikes. And I know, I don't just think it, I know that's what happens, and I can prove it right now. Because I also make a lot of shorts videos. Recently, I've started just uploading dozens upon dozens of Acer Thorn moments. Basically highlights from my live stream where I am especially goofy and silly, and I just crank the cheese up to 11. Cheese. No, gotta stay focused. Anyway, I get a lot of views, and I mean a lot of views from these shorts videos, primarily because they qualify for inclusion in the shorts feed. And now, you can actually access the shorts feed from your desktop just by going to the YouTube homepage and clicking on the shorts icon. It's wedged in between Explore and subscriptions. And you can also access it from your smartphone just by tapping the shorts icon in the bottom of the screen whenever you're on the YouTube app. The shorts feed doesn't really care about your video's previous watch time. I mean, the videos are limited to only 1 minute maximum, so there's not a whole lot of average view duration you could get. It doesn't really care about click-through, CTR, click-through rates, from other sources, and it doesn't really care about your thumbnails. You can add custom thumbnails to your shorts, but for some reason, they don't appear except in your playlists. I mean, that's just weird. I mean, why would you let me use a custom thumbnail when the only time that thumbnail is ever going to be visible is in the one other section besides shorts feed, where the thumbnail isn't actually going to affect people's decision of whether to watch the video or not. Because they're just going to watch the playlist in order, or they're going to shuffle it one way or another. So the thumbnail isn't going to matter nearly as much in playlists as they are on channel pages, home pages, or search results. But anyway, that's a different story. Anyway, because I qualify for the shorts feed, I can get quite a few views on my shorts just from the shorts feed alone. But the thing you need to keep in mind about the shorts feed is that it is randomly generated. This means that you can't just game the system. If I get a lot of views from the shorts feed, those views necessarily are organic. I literally couldn't view bot shorts feed views even if I wanted to. But this has an extra benefit to me as well. See, because it is literally impossible to game the system and watch and increase and try to get artificial views from the shorts feed, that means that a lot of impartial people can see my shorts. Now, here's the thing you need to keep in mind. There are thousands, literally thousands of people who are seeing my shorts feed videos that aren't just monitoring my videos, my channel like a vulture, looking for any excuse they can add just to swoop in and add an extra dislike in order to further their own narrative that my videos are shit. Because, hey, look at how many dislikes this guy is getting. Oh, yeah, because the same exact people every time keep fucking just adding the dislikes just to further their own damn narrative. However, if you actually go and check, if you actually use that Firefox add-on to see the like to dislike ratios for a lot of my shorts videos, especially those that have thousands of views thanks to the shorts feed, you'll see that my like to dislike ratio is actually far greater for my shorts videos than for my long form content. In fact, it's practically the opposite. Like literally, my channel average is about 15% likes, but on a lot of my shorts, the like to dislike ratio is more like 15% dislikes. So this really does prove that the dislike system is rigged against me by people who just don't like me. Once your ability to 100% control the narrative regarding my like to dislike ratio is stripped from you, my like to dislike ratio skyrockets. Now, does this mean that I produce objectively good content? No. It's all a matter of opinion. You still have the absolute right to not like my videos for any reason you like. You have the absolute right to not like my videos just because it's me who's posting them, even if you would have liked those same videos posted by somebody else. But one thing this does prove is that your dislike bombing me is completely disingenuous. And I especially find it to be disingenuous that you were to actually take these illicit screenshots using this illegal Firefox add-on and try to use the mere fact that you have artificially inflated the dislike count as objective proof that my videos are shit and that new people should stay away from them. That is 10 kinds of disingenuous. Frankly, your dislike bombing me is the equivalent of view botting. I have never view botted before. Well, and there was one time when I got sub-botted, though I didn't do that. I didn't sub-bot it myself. Somebody sent the sub-bots my way. But I've never, to my knowledge, view-botted. No, not to my knowledge. I know I have never view-botted, and to my knowledge, I've never had view-bots sent my way. But your dislike bombing is just as artificial and just as disingenuous as view-botting or sub-botting. You're just trying to artificially increase the stats to further your own narrative without the actual organic lack of popularity. And I know this because once I start getting tons of views from the shorts feed, which is ungameable, and suddenly people seem to overwhelmingly love my content. So there's the proof right there. So with that, I bid you all adieu. A circle out. Peace.